Hi, class. The law that I've chosen falls under the environmental laws with the leather trade regulations. Um, Leather, of course, is a product of animal skins and hides, so environmental law would be pertinent to this. What we're going to talk about is number one, the law, the exemptions, who's exempt, who isn't, and why, who this affects, and why, and how to avoid it. A little bit of introduction is the company is a manufacturer of Western goods for ranches. They manufacture saddles, whips, head bridles, chaps, and most leather goods used in the equestrian industry. These are all made from leather, of course. So it is necessary for leather trade and hide trades, animal hides, to remain profitable and continue to manufacture the leather goods used in the equestrian industry. So, what is the law? There are strict regulations from the U.S. Department of Agriculture prohibiting the use of certain hides, such as whales and seals, and this is according to the Marine Mammal Protection Act. Um, it is also uh, something that's regulated also is untanned hides. That means hides that have not been processed. They're going to be all natural hides, so uh, they're going to be basically under processed. And so we'll get into why these are regulated and how, and also who's exempt. So the use of whale and seal hides, of course, mammals, marine mammals are going to be protected, which those two would fall under. But there are exemptions. Alaskan natives are exempt from this regulation, due if they're especially if they're using the hides for cottage industry handicrafts. And what cottage industry means is if they are utilizing them for as resources, such as basket weaving, coats, things like that. They are not regulated from that. But as far as the leather trade and what we service, um, and what we utilize the hides for, that would not fall under an exemption. So the company would not be exempt from that. So, who this affects and why? The regulations are brought on by the United States Department of Agriculture, the USDA, and they prohibit the trade of untanned skin with countries that have a high rate of rinderpest and hand and foot disease. Rinderpest is a disease that affects human and can be deadly to them. Um, it's also illegal to trade with countries' raw skin hides that have a high potential to have hand and foot disease. This is something that, although we hear of it, and usually the cases are mild here, a lot of times it can get out of control, and we want to avoid an outbreak. Um, and some of them can have grave consequences. There can be fines along with it if you are trading with countries that are not on the list of countries that have a low infection rate of both. How do we avoid this? The way to avoid this is through compliance training. The company must remain compliant and updated in trade regulations. There are published lists of countries that are safe to trade with for untanned hides. These are chosen by the U.S. Department of the U.S. Department of Agriculture Secretary. Um, so these have to be updated. We need to make sure that everyone in trade, sales, that they're compliant, that their compliance training is done. This the lists need to be published quarterly, um, and the compliance and ethics team must check these lists to ensure that we are remaining compliant and able to trade leathers. Um, Utilizing animal skin, although some people are against it, which is understandable, it's a way to make high quality leather. And in order to do so, and continue to remain in business, we do have to utilize the lists that are published of these countries and ensure that we are only trading with the lists with the countries that are safe to trade with. Um, so that's something that we have to ensure as a company in order to remain compliant. I hope this helps. I hope that that brings a little bit more understanding to the regulations faced by the leather trade. All right. Have a good one.